First of all, I want to give credit to Objective Personality for really discovering and doing a good job of teaching the information that I'm kind of building this video off of. So when a person is learning something, there are really four ways that they can learn. One is to consume information. That would be like reading a book, maybe watching a documentary. It could be listening to a lecturer, something of that nature. It's where you basically are passively taking in the information that is being given to you through some other medium. Another way is to blast, or that is to speak the information. So if you have something on your mind that you're wanting to understand better, some people will actually talk through it. They may talk to themselves, or they may talk out loud, they may talk to another person, but they talk through the information, and as they're talking about it, they get a more full and rich understanding of what it is that they're trying to talk about. The next one, or another one, would be to effectively sleep energy the information, which is basically to cut off all gathering of information from any external source and to just really go off by oneself and contemplate. And then the next one and the last one would be to learn through what Objective Personality calls play, the play animal or play energy, which is basically learning by doing and learning by interacting with other human other human beings. So everybody does all four of these, and these four aspects of the human mind are not limited to just learning. They're limited to a whole host of activities in which we participate, and how you go through these energies, or what they call animals, in your mind affects how you do all sorts of things, not just learning. But it does greatly impact how you learn as well. So everybody is going to do all four of these. They're going to consume, they're going to blast or speak out information, and they're going to sleep on it, so to speak, and they're going to go out and kind of get their hands dirty or interact with other human beings. But not everybody does them equally. We all favor some of these modalities or methods more than we favor others. And we will all have one that we, I don't want to say ignore, but we largely leave undone. And that can cause us a lot of problems. Now, not everyone within any particular type does all four of these to the same degree or in the same order. So what I want to do in this video is not say, oh, all ISFPs do this, but what I do want to do is to kind of go through how I learn and in what order I use these mental processes. So for me, when I have something that I need to learn, the first place that I go is to my consume. So what I want to do is, if there's a topic that is interesting to me, I want to consume as much information on that topic as I can. And I will do that in different ways. I do enjoy watching educational videos. That could be YouTube videos where people are talking about the subject or teaching on the subject. I do enjoy reading. I do love to watch documentaries. It all depends on where I can find consumable information on the subject. So some media are more readily available with information about a certain subject, and some media there's less about. You may be interested in a topic where there are tons of YouTube videos and only a few books. You may be interested in a topic where there are magazines that you can get that are constantly talking about it. But no matter how it is that you want to consume the information, you will almost always be able to find some means where you can just sort of take in the information by reading it or listening to people talk about it, not in a dialogue way, but in a I will remain quiet and let you teach me sort of way. And that is a consume way of doing things. So when I need to understand something, when I want to learn something, the first thing that I do is consume as much information as I possibly can on that topic. And frequently for me, I will find that I will narrow down the sources over time. So when it starts, I will be indiscriminate about which sources I get my information from. I'll watch all the YouTube videos. I'll watch all the documentaries. I'll read the books and the magazines and listen to the radio programs or the podcasts or whatever. But over time, I'll realize, well, this one, they present some information I don't agree with, or these people communicate in a way that just doesn't connect with me. And I'll slowly narrow down the sources through which I'm willing to consume that information. But once I have consumed the information, and really truthfully, as I am consuming the information, so I may spend a lot of time over the course of a couple days consuming information, and then I will do what I'm going to talk to you about next. And then I may go back and consume more somewhere else. And the consuming process can last for weeks, months, years, honestly. Really, it can last for the rest of my life if I'm truly interested in a topic and want to continue to consume information about that topic. But then once I get, or along the way, I will mix in the second what objective personality calls animal, or I like to refer to it more as an energy. I will mix in the second method by which I learn, and that is through sleep. Now, sleep is not like I'm literally going to go lay in my bed and go to sleep, but the way it is explained is much like when you are asleep, physically asleep, you are blocking out all extroverted stimuli. You're not taking in any information at all from the external world, the world outside of your own mind. And so once I have consumed enough information to make it worth doing so, I then go into a sleep energy mode for a time. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 20 minutes, it could be a day if I can get away for that long. But the idea is that either alone in my car, alone laying in bed, if I'm alone in my house, I will just basically block out all external stimuli and process the information. And that helps me not only to internalize it so that I have it deep within my, stored conscious and my stored mind, but also to really think about, what do I think about this? How does this information make me feel? How does it affect me? What are my value judgments about this information? What do I think about the information? How does it apply? What could I do with that information? And this is all a process that goes on in my mind and in anyone's mind when they are in that sleep energy mode, where they're really just shutting out the external world and saying, I need to process the information that is ruminating within this head of mine. Now, after that, once I have spent a significant amount of time consuming as much information as I can and sleep processing that information, then for me, what I love to do next is to blast the information. What that means is I like to talk about it. Now, this comes in different forms for me. If I have an audience, a physical human being, let's say, usually just one person, it could be more than one, that may be interested in hearing what I have to say, then, if given the opportunity, I will blast the information out to that person. Now, talking through it, for me, is not so much talking through it so that I can come to revelations as I go, although that does happen. But for me, because I've already sleep processed the information to such a significant degree, oftentimes I don't necessarily come to new realizations while I'm blasting or talking about the information, but what I do is it allows me to almost burn it into my brain. It's like speaking it out loud causes it to be, to just be like cauterized in my head. And so I will blast out the information. Now, When I was young, I found that I would want to blast it out to people, and not really pay close enough attention to whether or not they were interested in listening. And so I think that I bored a lot of people, or frustrated a lot of people that I'm talking to them about something they don't want to hear. So if I don't have an audience, I literally, if I'm in my vehicle, I will blast it out or speak it out, talk it out verbally, frequently, out loud to myself. There's no one in the car with me. I'm just saying it to someone, some make-believe human being that theoretically could be there listening, but is not. And if that's not an opportunity, I will literally blast it out inside my mind without actually saying it. I will go through the process of saying it in my mind as though I were saying it verbally, such as to another human being. But there's not only no other human being there, but even if there were, they couldn't hear because I'm not actually saying it out loud. My preference is to say it to a person. My next preference is to say it out loud to myself, and my last preference is to say it out, or say it in my mind. But I will do whatever I need to do to sort of burn that information into my brain. Now, where I leave the void, or what I avoid doing as much as possible, is the play energy, the play learning, the learning by doing a lot of times. Some things I will learn better by doing. So if I have to learn, like if I'm at a job and I have to learn a new computer program, I still really want to go through all of those other processes first. But ultimately, I'm going to have to get my hands dirty and put my fingers on the keyboard and do the thing, to really have that repetitive doing it over and over and over and over, so that it becomes a systematized process in my mind, and I sort of develop the muscle memory, and then I can just do it without thinking. But I really don't like to do that. And the aspect of play energy that I think I hate the most, or play learning that I hate the most, is dialoguing with other human beings. I really do not enjoy, while I enjoy sort of teaching my information or talking out my information to other human beings, I really don't enjoy the back and forth. I don't find oftentimes that I learn from that. Or maybe a better way of saying it is, I'm not looking to learn that way. Sometimes I do learn that way in the course of conversation, but I oftentimes do not want to learn that way. It's not how I want to approach learning, and I oftentimes find it uncomfortable. And so for me, it is consume the information, go into my mind, block out all external stimuli, process the information thoroughly, and then share it verbally. A big part of the reason why I have this YouTube channel is the opportunity to sort of share verbally the information that I've been processing in my mind, which oftentimes is informed by all of the different opinions and sources that I have consumed. What I then forget to do, neglect doing, and oftentimes don't want to do, is to actually go out and get my hands dirty doing something with it, or talking like in a dialogue fashion with another human being, where I'm going to provide you information, you will provide me information, and we will learn from one another. That is something I simply do not do well. Now, everyone does these 4 things, and everyone does them in some order. The order will be different for different people. While your type does affect this, and frequently people within a certain type will have a tendency to do these things in a certain order that is similar or the same to other people within their type, it is not a foregone conclusion. You will do this in a certain way, and it may be different than the way someone else of your same type does it. But everyone not only does these things, but everyone has one that they largely leave undone, and that leaving undone of that particular way of learning causes problems for you. And frequently the people around you can see it. But a lot of times we ourselves are very oblivious to this reality about ourselves. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I find it very interesting. Maybe in some way, shape, or form, it will be helpful information to you. If for no other reason than to just analyze which of these 3 things you do the most, so that you'll know which one am I neglecting the most. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like and subscribe if you found this video to be informational, entertaining, or useful. And if you have been watching my videos and benefiting from my channel, would you please consider making a financial donation to me so that I have more time to make more videos? And you can do that by clicking on the link in the description below to the Ko-fi website, Ko-fi. Thank you again so much and have an awesome day. Bye now.